Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So in today's video, we're finally going to demonstrate Shion as a 5-star with his true manifest, and I'll do, of course, a little bit of gameplay and let you know what I think about him. But the most important question of all is he hot or not?
Ooh, let's see how skilled he is with his new katana.
Oh my. Okay, with his new upgraded true manifest, his VC, of course, remains the same. Power and slash resistance down for 2 turns with his true VC grasta. Those are the 3 moves we're going with. And 2 of those, the Itaru Dragon as well as the Phoenix Slash, are the ones that are enhanced. Keep in mind you can equip any weapon you want on Shion. However, I still went with his original one since it seems to boost his stats the best. So first of all, the Itaru Dragon is now a slash XL power down, physical resistance down. Note for 5 turns, as well as power boosted for 35% for 3 turns. Very useful as a defensive mechanism. Shion is a little bit slower than the newer characters. However, you can obviously spec him out so that he acts and does a power down before the enemy does. And of course, his old move, Scarlet Tengu, can still do some pretty decent damage. Fire type resistance down for 3 turns, 2 times L slash, more for a setup, and really nothing else to really put as his 3rd move. Finally, his Phoenix Slash is a spam move, and this one has been upgraded tremendously. Not only is it fire slash single enemies times 3 XL, speed stackable 3 times for 3 turns. Note that it guarantees crit, and if you do it 3 times in a row, by the 3rd time you do it, his damage is boosted through the roof, and it continues on as long as you don't change moves and keep on using Phoenix Slash. So the downside, of course, is that he is only a single target fighter. However, as you can see later on in the video, he can stack some big damage, and honestly, with his upgraded manifest, I think he is actually very viable in today's meta, depending on who you're fighting. Now, in terms of his 5-star board, same thing as usual. Note that obviously with the true manifest, you do see those upgraded moves as opposed to if you haven't fought the true manifest yet. And note that he does have a lot of personalities that can share grasta, so he does benefit from Cat Lover, Eastern, as well as the Katana grastas if you want to use sharing with those. Now, in terms of grasta setup, pretty standard stuff: enemy numbers, bullseye, and MP consumption. Again, against weakness, you can obviously use upgraded weak point strike as well. So, let's take him out for a spin. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So, first of all, against mobs, he's really not that efficient. He is a single target guy, and so you really don't see the benefits of his setup. Most of the single target will easily wipe weaker enemies up to even probably level 80 or higher, and I'll demonstrate even him single targeting against some weaker older bosses as more than adequate. So you know, he really is best suited on a team that can enhance his abilities either through slash zone, fire zone, other katana users either through sharing grasta, or even things like Cyrus or Ace Sukiya that can boost katana damage through their own special moves. Alright, so again, with the Itaru Dragon, obviously with power down, it really doesn't help with fighting enemies that do primarily physical attacks. The downside, of course, is that without an int down, is not a dual debuff, you will still need someone on your slash or fire team in order to debuff int. And so there you go. However, again, obviously the enemy doesn't do a lot of damage. Now, back in the very beginning in Global, Azami, as the 5th fight for her encounter in order to get her, was very difficult, and so obviously things have changed quite a bit. Note that we can start off with the Itaru Dragon, and because Azami does primarily physical attacks, that actually does mitigate some damage quite a bit. And by the 2nd turn of the Scarlet Slash, it is more than enough. Remember that at 3 turns is when you really see the Phoenix Slash do tons and tons of damage. And again, this is now against the regular manifest of Azami. Note that we are setting up with the Itaru Dragon to down power so that we don't get hit. And then by the 3rd time of using Phoenix Slash, you can clearly see that we didn't really take much damage. Again, easily wiped out him is soloing the fight, and we only really need Azami, obviously, to encounter the fight and to carry some grasta, as well as Shigiri AS carrying grasta as well. Note that they are both cat lover, and so you can really benefit from sharing grasta that way. Alright, so first of all, in our next example, we will do I believe we're doing Fire Zone versus this, I guess, artificial spirit. And so we can demonstrate him in Fire Zone. Note that the Iturai Dragon is a non-elemental attack, so you don't boost AF while in Fire Zone using that. But it does help set up with his extra power plus 35, so he does a little bit more damage. And we really want to get, again, 3 rounds of Phoenix Slash in, and remember that those stacks stay so outside AF. As long as you use Phoenix stacks consecutively 3 times, you can continue using Phoenix Slash, and it'll have the full benefits of the maximum damage multiplier. After that, it's really a matter of the other units on your team supporting him, either giving him buffs, helping debuff the enemy, and of course, in the case of Akane, AS carrying the Fire Zone Grasta to re-establish Fire Zone such that Shion can certainly one-shot kill after the AF. Now note that in previous fights, obviously many months ago when these artificial spirits came out, we relied on fights like using ASUN or high-end DPS with fire using, for example, maxed Aldo. Nowadays, once you have true manifested Shion, he really does fit in a lot of those roles. And again, against single enemy boss fights, certainly more than adequate. And he has, like I said, a lot of synergy with Slash and Katana users. Joker was just in there as a remnant from a previous site. And again, just like before, Shigiri is sharing the Grasta as we see. Alright, in our next example, we're going to break out the full-on Melissa ES Melina team, and we're going to one-shot kill or one-turn kill the Agatenshu as well as a strong Fox Spirit. Now note that in this example of dual Hachos, they don't have HP stoppers. This is probably the easiest of the 8 fights to do. And as long as you can generate enough DPS, you don't have to worry about any counters, since if you finish them off on one turn, you don't see any counters from the enemy, and they just stand in place. Just like I said, when using Melissa, you're like fighting the bad baddies. They really don't do anything. They stand there and you just shred it. So look at the numbers that we see with Phoenix Slash. 60 times 3. He out damaged the speed of using his mana. And obviously, we benefit from having ES Melina's type down with Oriyasha. However, just the fact that he was able to clear it so easily and before, he would certainly not be able to do the damage you see here. You know, hundreds of millions essentially in 3 hits overall, and just like that, gone. So, hopefully that changes your mind about Shion being the meme unit. I know he was made fun of a lot, and he really wasn't very good once the game progressed to a certain level. However, I really do think he's much more useful, and I'm going to actually try using him in more manifest fights. Again, the fact that he has Fire Slash, he can benefit from so many synergies, and we do have a Fire Zone Grasta, we have a Slash Zone Grasta, and of course so on and so forth. Same loadout here, AS Hizmina, standard stuff. Note that again we have weak point Grasta, really helps enhance our damage against enemies weak to that element. And since we do have 2 weak point strike Grasta, we can use one for Hizmina, which is the DPS for the Akatenshu, as well as Shion, which was the main DPS for the strong Fox Spirit. Okay, so in our final example, we're going to use a very similar team. We're going to use another Melissa boosted, ES Melina boosted team. And I know some of you have asked me to kind of feature Eva. This is just for fun, so certainly not optimized in this example. We're really showcasing Shion, remember. We're not showcasing Eva. That being said, we already rely on Eva to do our water DPS against the Moonfire. And Kodama obviously will be weak to the slash fire attacks of Shion. Same thing, the first 2 rounds, you don't really see much damage from the Phoenix Slash. It's really the 3rd and 4th rounds where you start stacking, like, see, 50 times 3, and by the next round, you instantly will kill that. See, the Kodama is done. And again, in my previous examples, when I first fought this on my own, I was using the likes of AS Hozuki to one-shot kill, and now we don't really need to do that. such an old unit as Shion really got refreshed with this True Manifest. Obviously, I will do a video on Mighty and show you the capabilities of Mighty in the next day or so. And you've already seen my video on my waifu Suzette, who has really risen back to the top on DPS. So these True Manifests are great ideas. Lets us refresh our old units, and so they don't have to sit in the back doing nothing. Okay, so at this point, of course, Shion really can't do anything. He can't damage something that absorbs fire, and so we're just letting Eva take care of everything. Obviously, we have Water Zone in activation. We have ES Melina still, and of course, Eva's just going to one-shot kill it. Note that we did use Lucent Magi or Magi to debuff the enemy so that we wouldn't die post 50% HP stopper, since it does do that kind of fire AoE. Alright. Much easier than a number of months ago when I was tackling on with mixed Pierce team. Alright, so again, loadout here. Melissa really is our main support, obviously with Flash Strike stance, Pain setting using Pain enhanced grasta ore. Melina obviously will help increase speed and power for our physical types. Eva actually doesn't benefit from Melina's boost, but so what? She's so powerful on her own, it really doesn't matter. And of course, again, the start of this show anyways, Shion is back in action to defeat the enemies. Shigeri, same thing, sharing the grasta. And finally, Mariel is actually carrying grasta for Eva. Okay, so in conclusion, again, these True Manifests really have done well to bring older units such as Shion back into the mix. I'm not sure if I would recommend using 5 Chance for him. However, since I already had him as a 5-star and have his True Manifest, it was actually fun demonstrating the potential, and I'll try to use him more in the future. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.